Libra, hello there, my beautiful friends. We're going to do your general tarot reading for mid-January 2025. Thank you so much for joining me today. You know I appreciate each and every single one of you. So let's get right down to business as always and start you off with an oracle card here, just so we could dip our toes in energy and see what's happening for the lovely Libras. Hope you're all doing fabulous and fantastic, my friends. Let's get it going here. My God, Spirit Team, talk to me. What do we got for Libra gang in mid-January? Please and thank you. What energies, messages, insights can we take a little peek at? And yeah, we're just going to take a real quick look at this first card. Then we'll get into the full reading itself. At the very end, I'll pull you a bonus card from the Shadowland Tarot, just to see what might be in the shadows or what shadow work you can lean into, which is always interesting. But let's get it going here. Let's rock and see what we got for Libra in mid-January. What is the vibe in 2025 for my good friends, please? What do we got for Libra? So, yeah, there we go. Nice and quick. Oh, cool. This card always makes me chuckle because that lady literally has a tree growing out of her head. Now, this is a great card for like learning new things and knowledge in general. Very active mindset with this card, but I do like it. There's a certain funniness to it or a softness. It's humorous. Before we fully dive into that, though, if you're new here, I'll be speaking about the January subscriber surprise towards the end, so you might want to check that out. Also, if you could kindly illuminate that like button by tapping it right on its third eye, you know, I'd greatly appreciate it. But enough of the promo, into the reading. Let's talk more about this card. So I was making a few comments on her. We see this lovely lady in the yellow dress, and she is surrounded by books. She is surrounded by knowledge. Notice there is a tree growing out of her head, and not only is there a tree growing out of her head, it's also bearing fruit. So this is great for ideas and brainstorming, getting those creative juices flowing. I think that this is awesome. Now, I will say this for some of the Libras out there. I know that most of you are very active mentally. You could be having some really good, like, inspiration in this time, or like strikes of lightning where it's like, aha, eureka. So just know, whether it's situations you're dealing with or whether it's like things that pop up out of the blue, I'm getting like those lightning strike ideas coming in. Now, for another chunk of you, with all this energy around education and knowledge, now is a great time to learn new things, absorb new information, new businesses, new jobs, you name it. This is a really good card for that. Another thing I always link to that, aside from the mental activity, because that could be the case too, so watch out for the overthinking when this card is in the mix. There are also ties to communication as well, with all the written words. So we're just going to leave her over there. She could keep brainstorming. Let's get into tarot now. And yeah, I always say that first card there, it doesn't make or break the reading. It's just a little footnote. So let's get you 3 tarot cards in the upright. Then we'll get into that intuitive juiciness. Shuffle it up one time here for the lovely Libras. And while we get this deck shuffled up and ready to go, let's talk about last week's reading. It was titled A Shocking Talk. So even last week's reading was centered around communication. Now, to me, this either felt like a conversation you totally weren't expecting to have, or hearing from someone you weren't expecting to hear from. That could bleed over for a couple weeks. So if that hasn't happened, just know, like, you could be having some really interesting combos coming up. But we're going to see what shows up for you this week. As you know, energy is very fluid, never set in stone, so only take what hits for you. Because we could be seeing your vibe or somebody else's, right? Let's get it going. 3 cards for the lovely Libras in mid-January. What's happening here for my good friends? What is the vibe? Thank you. Oh, okay. So we have the moon in position number 1, biggest card of mystery. So it's like we're starting with a little bit of mystery. Maybe you are going to need all that brain power we were talking about in the beginning there. Remember I was saying like those lightning strike ideas and stuff when we're dealing with the moon. I mean, that could be good, though. The moon isn't always bad. Let's get a couple more. Hanged Man. A lot of contemplation here. So much deep thought and contemplation, especially with the moon and the Hanged Man. It's like, let me think about this. Let's get one more. One more here for my Libras, please. Nope. Yeah. There we go. Thank you. Okay, we do have the strength card here on the back end. So you have all major arcana this week in the main part of the spread, which I feel like is always a powerful thing. We'll get into the deeper aspects of the elements, but these are super powerful energies. So let's go through. I'll give you some of the classical meanings and archetypes. Then we'll get into that juicy intuitive stuff. But at first glance, we have a nice little mixture of elements. There's a lot of water here, you know, with the moon and the Hanged Man. Now, that's Pisces. Sometimes people give it to Cancer. Now we have the Hanged Man here. That's Scorpio. Some people also give it to Pisces. Some people also give it to Virgo. So it's like that earthy, fixed watery type of energy, and then we have fire on the back. So it's like we have a nice mixture of elements happening here. I do feel like it's water heavy, which is the realm of feelings, the realm of emotion. So we're going to have to see how this all plays together, but it's always important to know that when we see major arcana, these aren't just like little things. Like they're usually big veins of energy that are working through our lives. They do represent change and shift in very powerful ways, except for this hanged man. He's kind of stuck in his ways. But let's go through piece by piece and really start to build this out, because I feel like this is going to be a complex one. So position number one, we are starting with the moon. Now, I'm going to give you the positives and challenges of both. As I already mentioned, this is Pisces energy, also Cancer, depending on the reader. I give it to both of them. And the moon, the positives of it, it's highly, highly intuitive, similar to the high priestess. So it does speak about energetic sensitivity. So in this time, if you're sensitive to energies, that could very much be heightened. Your gut could be telling you something. Your intuition could be trying to tell you something. But in its challenging aspect, the moon is a big card of secrecy, the hidden, the unknown, the unseen. And that is like really within the symbolism of this card, where it could be unexpected things, it could be surprising things, you name it. Now, that doesn't always have to be a bad thing. I always say that about the Tower as well. Not everything that's hidden is bad. Not everything that we don't know about yet is a bad thing. It could be good. I guess it really depends. Now, for some of you, it could be something you don't quite understand the logic behind it, especially with the next card that we have coming up. So don't be surprised if there's something where it's like, there's more to see here, or I don't quite get it. It's like I'm solving a mystery somewhat with what I'm picking up here. As we move to the center, we do have the Hanged Man, very similar to the Hermit. Now, I already mentioned Scorpio energy. Some people give it to Virgo, some people give it to Pisces, so you just do with that info what you will. But the Hanged Man is a retracted, pulled back type of energy. It's not really moving in the physical sense, that is, because although this dude's just chilling, he's just hanging out right there, and he's not doing anything physically, there's a lot going on up here. There's a lot of analysis, so there's a lot of thinking, there's a lot of analyzing, there's putting things under the microscope. It's also watching. So again, whether it's a situation that you're keeping an eye on, okay, maybe it's something you need to keep a close eye on. Maybe someone's keeping an eye on you. That could very well be the case. This is a strategic card too, so it's like, all right, well, it seems like not much is happening, but underneath the surface with this Hanged Man, it's like, all right, this is a preparation time, or a preparation period. Okay, so again, I feel like this does fit in with what we had here in the beginning, where it's great for taking in information, but I'm like getting this vibe of like, I'm trying to figure this out, or I'm keeping an eye on it. Nothing's going to get by me. So it should be interesting to see how this all plays out. Now, where we get to the issues with the Hanged Man, obviously, since he's just hanging there, it could represent problems. It could represent situations where it's a little frustrating, where there doesn't seem to be a lot of progress, because the Hanged Man's not really moving. It's not really doing much. On the back end, we have strength. Now, I like this card. I feel like this is an angelic card. Notice this angelic lady wrestling with that lion. She has the infinity symbol over her head. So there is some universal karmic energy attached to her as well. Big Leo energy. So if you're connected to Leo, if you have Leo placements yourself, this could just be it showing up. When I see this, I don't think of physical strength. I think of inner strength. Or inner strength to push through issues, or inner strength to push through problems. I always see this as like an energy of blessings, where it's like, okay, well, I can't force something. I can't strong arm it. It's solving things with love and care a lot of times. But I also say when I see strength, sometimes it can represent temptation. Okay, because it's like, all right, well, you made progress. Let's see how much progress you made. Or a spirit could be tempting you in one way or another. So you see what I mean? All this energy, the way it lines up together, it's like, all right, this could be a lot of stuff. So I want to dive deeper on all of it. Let's jump in and clarify. Okay, let's get a good shuffle here for the lovely Libras. Let's see what's happening. Guides, talk to me. And yes, this is where I go intuitive with the message, which means I just tell you how it feels to me. So feel free to do further research or rely on your base knowledge of tarot, because as you know, every single reading is about the reader's interpretation, and I'm just giving you mine. Let's go in on that moon. And yes, if you're a reader yourself, please feel free to play along. That's why the box is here. If you're feeling any messages you want to give to Libra, you can drop it in the comments. I don't mind at all. Okay, what's the moon doing here? Why is the moon in the mix, please? Thank you. That went better than expected. That's the first thing that's popping into my mind. We have the Nine of Pentacles. Wow. All right, we're just going to have to see how this all plays out. Now, the Nine of Pentacles is usually very grounded. It's like, yeah, I'm cool. Everything's fine. This is very much a go with the flow type of energy. So we're going to have to see how tough of a situation this might be in the center, because when I see the moon and the Nine of Pentacles, it's very nonchalant. So there might be someone or a situation where it's like, yeah, it seems okay. It seems cool. Like, at least from the outside looking in, everything seems fine. But I'm also getting this vibe of something going much better than expected. So this is really good. Now, for a lot of you, when it comes to like work and career, the Nine of Pentacles, this is what we want to see. This could be an independent card. It could be a card of solitude, but I think of blessings when I see it. So again, for some Libras out there, there could be certain situations that really swing in your favor that go unexpectedly well. So I could see an unexpected win or victory or a surprising one when we see this energy connected together. And I feel like that's really nice. But at the same time, I'm also picking up this energy where whether it's a person that seems nonchalant, it's like, all right, well, they seem like everything's fine or nothing seems out of order here. We're going to have to see if that's the case as we move along. But this energy, by outside appearances, looks like it's doing okay. So I feel like it's either one or the other, maybe both for some of you. Let's keep moving. Just claim whichever part you want. If it's that unexpected or surprising win or victory, take it, because that could most definitely be the case. But let's see what the Hanged Man has. Let's see what the Hanged Man has for you. And I really want to get over to Strength too, to see if that's like a good thing or if it's temptation. So let's go in on the Hanged Man. What's going on here? Thank you. Okay, this is a little sour. This is a little bit sour. To me, it's giving me very much Scorpio type of energy here. And I'm going to tell you why. I have a Scorpio moon. I have a lot of Scorpio placements. Not talking smack about my Scorpio gang. Lots of love for Scorpio. But to me, this is giving me the vibe of someone that's like looking for cracks, where it's like, I'm going to test this. I'm going to test that. I'm going to see, like, all right, is everything okay? Let me poke it and see if it is. Like, that's just the energy I'm picking up here, Libra. So I'm not saying this is someone trying to get a rise out of you. I'm not saying this is someone it's like a stress test, if that makes sense, where it's like, okay, yeah, everything's cool. Everything's fine. Let's see how fine you are. It's like giving me that. It's very peculiar. Now, there could also be someone you're connected to that they're not in the best place. When I see the Hanged Man with the Ten of Cups in reverse, it's like, yeah, this energy looks good. This one, not so much. So it's like this weird extreme of energy where it's like, yeah, great, awesome. This situation here in the center is like kind of lingering around. Now, again, this could most definitely be a problem popping up where it's like, everything's cool, everything's fine. And then boop, this pops up and it's like, all right, everything stops in its tracks. So I would also say, watch out for problems popping up. So we have this very intriguing energy here in the center, and we'll talk about it more during the recap. So just to sum it up for you again, this seems like a stress test, or someone saying like, yeah, you're fine, you're cool. Let's see how cool you are. I'm going to test you. Either that, or this could just represent a problem popping up, possible big one. But let's keep moving. Let's see what Strength has, and then we'll do a quick little recap before we get into the shadow. I don't know why that reminds me so much of Scorpio energy. It's like, I'm going to test you. I'm going to test you. But why is Strength here? Okay, cool. So we do have the Two of Wands in the upright underneath Strength, and I will say this. I mean, two of my bigger cards around strategy and planning are here. So again, with the Hanged Man and this Ten of Cups in reverse, this could be someone problem solving. Like, all right, I'm going to think my way out of this. Like, this isn't what I want it to be, or this isn't ideal, so I'm going to think my way out of it. There could be a lot of planning happening here. Same thing with Strength. But they're coming from two different places. Now, Strength with the Two of Wands could most definitely be somebody overcoming something, where it's like, I'm going to stand strong. I made a decision. This is what it is. And I'm going to move forward with my plans as is. But at the same time, it's like two energies of planning, but they're coming from two different places, where one is coming from a bit of a sour place. The other one is coming from a place of love. So very peculiar. Now, I can say this for a lot of Libras here. There's some beautiful energy for you. It's not all bad. It's not all problems. To me, it's a bit of a mixed bag for you this week, but I'd say overall it's good. But again, the Two of Wands, decisions, choices. I mean, there could be certain things you're a little indecisive about, but to me, it's very strategic, especially with Strength. So whatever it is you're planning, however it is you're moving forward throughout this year, come from a place of genuine love and care, and you can't really go wrong. So whether it's self-love, self-care for yourself, or care for another individual, if you come from that pure place, you can't go wrong. So let's go through and do a quick little recap before we get into the shadow card. Lots of different things popping up this week. I guess mileage may vary. It depends on what you're going through, right? But if you kindly look in the box, position number 1, we have the moon with the 9 of Pentacles. Like I said, for a lot of you, this could just be an unexpected, surprising win of some sort. I like it. I feel like it's claimable. It looks good to me. But I'm also getting the vibe of someone or something where it's like, they seem fine, or it seems fine. No big reaction there. It just seems non-reactionary, and it seems pretty planted. So you might be dealing with someone that's very nonchalant. Moving to the center, we have the Hanged Man with the 10 of Cups, or it's like, okay, you're nonchalant. Let's see how nonchalant you are. So watch out for people trying to get little reactions out of you. This could most definitely be like a stress test of some kind, where it's going to be like, okay, we'll see. We're going to test for cracks. We're going to see what's happening here. I mean, that's just how it feels. Now, another vibe I was getting, yes, it could also be someone in the planning phases where, like, there could be a problem that pops up, a big one. Hanged Man with the 10 cups in reverse, it's like, whoa, 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 this is an issue. But it's somebody that could be planning something from a bit of a grouchy, grumpy place. On the back end, we have the Strength card with the 2 of Wands in the upright. That's coming from a totally different place. So it's like, okay, both of these energies are moving in the same direction, but one is coming from a place of love and care. The other one's coming from a place of anger or disgruntledness. So I guess user's choice, right? It depends on your situation. But I do feel like this is good forward momentum, especially here on the back end, especially with what we have here up front. So I guess, yeah, it depends on your situation, my friends. Please take a screenshot if you want to look into it further. Let's see what's in the shadows. So we're going to get a good shuffle here. And yeah, I always like to pull one shadow card at the very end just to see whether it's something within you or something you don't quite see. Shadow cards don't always have to be a challenge. They could be a good thing. So let's get you one. Oh, and if you made it to this point in the reading, please feel free to check out channel memberships. I'll put a link for it in the comments below. It's a beautiful way to support the channel, and I have much love for all my channel members. Okay, let's get your shadow card here. What is happening? What do we got in the shadows for the lovely Libras in mid-January, please? The deck is acting a little funky here. There we go. I'll take it. Okay, with 3 of Cups is usually a very positive shadow card. It could represent the circle of people around you. So again, I mean, I've been seeing this in the other air signs that it's like someone in your circle might be going through a little bit of something. But when I see the 3 of Cups, I think of happiness, joyousness, merriment, having a good time. So for some Libras out there, maybe that's what Spirit wants you to do. Maybe Spirit wants you to cut loose a little bit when this shows up in the shadows. Now, the only issue or the big shadow side of the 3 of Cups, aside from sticky third-party situations, you know, I'm not a big fan of using that as my message. When I see the 3 of Cups, it could be someone that's a little too overindulgent. So there might be temptation in this time to overindulge in certain things, specifically if you've been trying to resist them, if that makes sense, when this card shows up in the shadows. So again, I don't feel like it's a bad thing. It could be some very good energy, especially a card of winning in the shadows. So like the unexpected or surprising win we saw. So yeah, Libra, that's what I have for you this week, my friends. Don't click away just yet, though. I'm going to give you the details. The January subscriber surprise. If you would like to get a personal reading from me and get a little forecast for what 2025 has in store for you, you can check out my website and digital calendar at mastermetaphysics.com to look for availability. But for the January subscriber surprise, we are once again giving away 3 copies of the beautiful Everyday Witches Tarot. It's one of my favorite decks. And if you'd like to get your name in for this, it's 2 simple things, as always, my friends. First, you must be subscribed. And second, let me know down in the comments, what is your main goal for the 2025 calendar year? You'll be entered to win, and at the end of the month, the winners will be announced in my community tab as usual, my friends. Much love, and I'll see you soon.